This is another video I'm going to check out real quick. If you guys haven't heard of the creator, I think his name is Nathan Barnett, or Dad, I think as he's kind of currently known. He's a longtime YouTuber. He's mainly known for his like weird dancing style from back in the day. Recently, he's been kind of enshrouded within all of this creator clash drama. Maybe creator clash is something I need to do an in-depth look at or something eventually. But he was a part of Creator Clashes 1, 2, and then was going to be in 3. And since that whole collapse with Idubbz and his wife Anissa, and that whole thing, there's so much drama coming out from the Creator Clash stuff. Nathan Barnett is someone who was kind of affected because he was expecting a big payday. If you don't know, again, Creator Clash was this big creator influencer boxing event that was made money for the fighters, but also made money for charity. And the owners, again, Idubbz and Anissa. Idubbz, a longtime YouTuber, content creator. He kind of ran that thing into the ground because of bad management. And if so facto, a lot of creators, a lot of people connected to the H3 crew, which I watch H3 and all that stuff. Looks like Nathan, he's been kind of talking a little bit of crap about them because and he's actually like I think he's actually a relatively nice guy. He doesn't really say a heck of a whole lot, but he's been a little bit more vocal lately because of some of the other crap that's going on. So he just put out a video. If you guys want, I'm gonna watch that. I kind of want to see what he has to say about Idubbz. Let's see, playback speed. Let's speed you up a little bit.
And thank you. Thank you so much for watching the 24-hour dance stream and donating to the Dad Indiegogo.
Oh, I forgot. He did a 24-hour dance stream. He did, really, yeah. That's really cool.
We have raised now, in a period of 24 hours while dancing, we raised about $12,000. We started at $5,000, and now we're about to hit $17,000. We're just trying to get another $7,000 more dollars. So we have a month and a half to do it. I think it'll happen. If you haven't donated and you're able to donate, or if you did and you're able to, again, even a couple dollars, even $1.
Shout out to Dad. Go check out Dad's channel.
Please help me make this movie. And thank you for everyone who's already
Nathan Barnett. He seems like a nice guy.
Words that Idubbz has put out into the world. I would really like to answer, acknowledge, address what was said. So I'm sure you have seen, if you watch my channel, I've been trying to get Ian to box me. I didn't ever think he really would do it, but there was...
Oh, yeah. If you guys don't know, Nathan, because he was a part of, like, multiple boxing events, I think he, for good reason, he's took a bunch of time to kind of train and stuff. So I think he was kind of lacking a little bit on the content creator side because of so much training. He was very disappointed, kind of looking for a payday from that event. And without that happening now, I think he has signed on with some other company to do some other boxing events. So good for him. He's probably could really use the money after getting screwed over. But so now he's doing another event. I think he has actually challenged Idubbz in the last like month or two. Simply because, well, one, I think he would love to fight him since he ruined a payday for some people. But I think this is him kind of responding. Idubbz, I think, has basically been ignoring him and talking crap about him. So it's really disappointing. Again, I mean, I think I did a video talking crap about Idubbz with the whole H3 thing, but I don't know, man. His personality is like just so off from what people thought he was. I don't know if a lot of people blame his wife. I don't know. I can't go that far. I don't know if it was her or if he was always like that, but he's kind of really turned into kind of a douche. So let's see what Dad has to say.
It's a small glimmer of hope where I thought he might, so I went on about it for a couple of videos because I talked to Misfits, and they're talking about like big money that would change my life.
If you don't know, Misfits is another boxing company. I guess they do like influencer boxing events. I could be wrong. I think. Oh, is Misfits owned by what's that other creator? Oh, I can't think of his name. I'm gonna be annoying and look it up real quick. Oh, it's Mizkif, right? Misfits Boxing. I think it's owned by Mizkif. Oh no no no! It's owned by oh, what's his name? I already forgot. I just saw it. It's owned by KSI, right? Isn't that's another YouTuber? Which I think that's the yeah, KSI. I think he's the guy that fought Logan Paul or something. So he's saying that KSI has essentially reached out and wants to pay him good money to go out and box and be a part of an event, which is really cool. Really happy for him to get that.
For a very long time. And I feel that Ian, who couldn't use money when you're grinding on the internet all the time, it's hard to earn a living. So now that I'm engaged in talking to my fiance about having a child, it's like, oh boy, this would really help out. And I do like boxing. And Ian did say recently he would like to box, or he would be open to boxing again. And I thought, okay, this is a great opportunity. We have like a natural story here.
If you don't know why I would love to see um, Ian Idubbz fight Dad is because one, Dad is accosted. He feels like Idubbz cost him a bunch of money, and also Idubbz and Anissa have been like talking crap on him, talking about how bad of a boxer he is, saying he's like no talent, not good at it, and it's like you realize Dad, like I'm a big fan of H3, so like AB is on there, one of the fighters, one of the representatives from H3, and he beat AB. He beat. He's kind of known as like a reckless, crazy fighter. So it's like he's not like a bad fighter. Idubbz is the one who I think is 0-2, who hadn't won one yet. So it's like I don't know. Is my mic peaking? If my mic gets too loud, I just moved it away from my face a little bit. But yeah,
How about it?
and they're like similar in fighting experience, similar in size, and actually, um, Idubbz would have like an age advantage. He's like probably 15 years younger than this guy, so I don't know.
And he hasn't responded. I texted him. You guys saw. I'm sure most of you saw it. I texted him, and he told me basically go away. And then he did an interview with someone
He texted him to kick rocks, if I'm not mistaken, not go away. Kick rocks is like fu, in my opinion.
on a YouTube channel called "Don't Worry About It." No, do not worry is the YouTube channel. He interviewed Ian, and I just want to sort of answer, I guess, the stuff that they said.
I always want to defend you guys. Like even the stuff with like Dad right now. Like someone's trying to give you like, dude, Dad has been trying to farm clout off of this for the last like few weeks, ever since Creator Clash was canceled.
So when he says I'm farming clout off of Ian, I guess that's his way of negating my valid complaints that I was involved with Ian for 3 years heavily, and then Ian really blew that all up. So I would naturally be upset, and I feel it's justified to make some videos to explain myself, complain, vent. I feel like every boxer in Creator Clash could go on for a while about it, making videos, and I don't think it would be considered clout farming when I was involved with this person. Meanwhile, the guy who says this, his whole channel is that. It's like talking about other people's drama and attaching themselves to it. So I don't feel it's really fair of him to say that about me when I have legitimate thing I'm trying to do, and I guess I disagree with his statement there.
And yeah, Dad was nice, and I used to like Dad in Creator Clash 1 and 2. He had amazing fights in Creator Clashes 1 and 2. I was a fan of Dad when all that stuff was going on. But I also, his behavior hasn't been cool. Like he's been literally talking shit about you guys. He's been contributing to the negative attention.
So he says I'm talking shit, and I would like to ask him when and where I did that, because in my opinion, talking that trash would be insulting, being rude, making fun of. I never did that ever.
And it's also like, I'll be honest, like they're like mad simply because a Dad is talking trash or saying negative things about Idubbz, and it's like I hate to say it, I feel like if you wrong me and I'm accosted by you, I feel like I have a right to talk crap about you and to say bad things. If you screw me over and make me take X amount of time out of my year, out of my life to train for your event, and then you trash the event and it goes under, and I'm left like without any money from all this training and from doing all this stuff when I could have gotten a payday from being a part of this thing. It's like, yeah, Dad has a reason to be mad. Like, why would you be upset that he's complaining? It's like and the event isn't even Idubbz's anymore. They ran it so bad. They literally stepped down from being the owners of it or whatever. So it's like, it's like, dude, you totally you screwed me over. Like I should be able to talk smack about you. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. That's my opinion. Screw me over, then smack talk about me would not go unpunished. Yeah, said that's Veronica Rose in chat. Yeah, exactly. The least you could do is like, if you're gonna screw me over and not just screw him over, he screwed over like everybody a part of a giant boxing event at a major was gonna be held at like a major stadium or whatever in Florida. Like, yeah, yeah, you ruined the whole thing. I should be able to talk crap about you. It's like, but then Ian has to be like, no, no one can come after me. I don't know.
Not once. I said how I felt and how what he did affected me and how it caused me to feel. That's not talking trash. That's just saying, hey, you did this, and now I feel this way. I said it was unfair of him and Anissa. I said he didn't seem to care about us. And I never said anything. I was never rude. I never went to that level because I don't do that. So I think this guy maybe is just saying this because he's like a fan of Ian's and wants to kind of like set up this question with like, oh, dad's negative. Hey, I feel negatively about dad. Before I get into this, this is where I stand, Ian. So Ian knows this isn't like he's not pulling him into some drama he's not going to respond to. I don't know. I'm just making things up, trying to figure out why he's saying this when I never did talk shit. I don't swear.
Well, Dad, I can tell you why they're doing that, even though you don't understand. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They're all a lot of those people, in my opinion, that are a lot of this stuff stems from the H3 and Hassan drama. If you don't know, I did a video on that a while back. You can check that out if you want, explaining more in depth. But what it is you have all of these people who have stemmed from that drama, and a lot of those people, like the guy that Idubbz was just talking about, him, and now Idubbz and Anissa, they're like very much a part of that clique over there with Hassan. So, and over there, those they just they're bad actors in my opinion. They're all people that are just like, uh, I hate to get political, but to me, they're like the far end of the left, which, everyone always mainly talks about the far end of the right, and oh, all these crazy Republicans, the crazy conservatives are like super bad for the country, and we can't, we can't be associated with them. And I think one thing that people hopefully are opening their eyes up open to is that there is a crazy far left too. Like I'd like to think of myself as someone who's a little bit more moderate. Do I lean liberal Democrat? Yes, I lean that way. I'd like to think I'm a little bit more moderate, but as much as like someone wants to admit, oh, I'm Republican or I'm Democrat, you have to admit there are crazies on both sides, which there 100% is, and I think that's what Ian and Nisa are now wrapped up into. Is they're now wrapped up into this section of the internet, uh, um, that Hassan kind of is in, and Hassan has all of these, Hassan Piker, if you guys don't know, but he has all of these like orbiters around him, who, in my opinion, are mostly bad actors. They're people that like. I think what it is what Hassan has going is because he's a big deal. Hassan is. He's like a major content creator. What it is you have. They're all like sucker uppers. They're all these people that want Hassan's clout. They want to be a part of Hassan's. There's no one who's normal on either side, says Skylar. No, I would disagree. I definitely think there's normal people that are left wing or right wing. I mean, I even admitted like I feel like I lean definitely liberal. Like in my opinion, I definitely think that like I definitely like to try and play moderate when I can. But I come from a family that's largely conservative. Like most people, are like that, and I get along with most of them. Veronica Rose says yes, men. Yes, exactly. I feel like Hassan has done a great job of having all of these orbiters, these other content creators who like are yes men and will do anything to make him happy and defend him no matter what. So, and I think largely that's kind of what's been going on, because if you haven't seen, again, I mentioned it, like there's a huge like online war and discourse that's happening with the H3 and Hassan stuff. And it largely stems from their podcast that they were doing. And it's just like, if you really look into the specifics behind that, they really, like, they're both libs and they really don't disagree on almost anything. But there is this whole war happening there because they disagree on like one thing. And I largely think that's a large problem with our politics in general, is like, you have all of these people that, like, on the left or the right, who like all agree on all these different things, but that one thing that you disagree with somebody on becomes such, for some reason, on the crazies in my opinion are like that. The people that are way left or way right, it's like, yeah, I agree with you on this, I agree with you on that, but that one thing that I disagree with you on is a deal breaker. And it's like, in my opinion, that's a large problem with our politics in general, as if that's the case with everyone. Where like, if one thing is big enough for me to hate somebody over, then there's never going to be any agreement between me and anybody. You know what I mean? If one disagreement on one thing is that big a deal. And that largely is the Hassan and H3, Ethan Klein problem, is that Ethan and Hassan largely agreed on like a bunch of different things, but because they disagreed on one thing, and don't get me wrong, I still think, even though I'm biased, I'm a H3 fan, even though I'm saying that they agreed on so much, the major problem that stemmed from that is H3 was receiving a bunch of harassment and largely hate, I would say, through Hassan's like chat and everything. And when that was happening, all H3, who was a perceived friend of Hassan at the time, they were literally on the same podcast. H3 was just asking him, hey, can you have a lot of people who are like saying terrible things about me in your chat. Can you or your mods like tell them to stop? Which I don't, at the time, again, I didn't think was a big deal. It's like, if you're a legitimate friend of somebody and they're on your show and your audience is attacking them, in my personal opinion, the least you can say is, hey guys, can you cool it down and not attack my buddy here? You know what I mean? Which is like, if for some reason that was something Hassan wasn't willing to do, and he just let his people kind of constantly attack the guy. Let's see in chat. Veronica Rose says, oh yeah, everyone is busy being pinned again. Yeah, that's a big issue in society right now. One minor disagreement and it causes a big commotion, and that's the last straw, and it's just overkill. Essentially, it's like, I don't know. It's hard to say whether politics can go anywhere when that's the case with everything, but yeah, that's the H3 Hassan thing. It's just one little disagreement on how things are handled. Like, and their big disagreement was something that has to do with Israel and Palestine, when like they make Ethan Klein or H3 seem to be like this hater of Palestinians, or he's pro-Israel, and it's like, bro, me as a fan of H3, he has been saying for years, free Palestine. He's against Israel going in and like killing children and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's the right thing to say, and but still somehow like the narrative is that he's like the other way. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I don't quite understand why that is. I think it's just people who don't like apologizing for anything. I think that's more what it is with the Hassan thing, is he's somebody who has an ego, who just refuses to apologize for something. And you can see that with our modern politicians are very much like that now. You you literally have a president right now who, I don't know if he's ever apologized for anything. So, uh, sometimes a simple apology is like can go a long way, and I think that was the big problem there. And again, Hassan's got a lot of orbiters. He's got all of those people that H3 has been talking about forever. Who, what's his name? Sam something. I can't remember. I don't know. That's my big problem though. And I think largely, again, I think largely that's where Idubbz is at now. If you guys really look at it, Idubbz has lost a lot of money over the last year or two because of how kind of crappy he and his wife have kind of not only ran their businesses, but kind of been on the internet in general. So it makes no sense why to be that combative when like you're wanting to make money and to do that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Back to Dad. Let's let Dad finish his thoughts. I went on a tangent there.
So apologies for being a prude. Yes, you could say I brought more attention to I brought negative attention towards Ian because I exposed what happened, and then people felt negatively about what he did. So if someone robs someone and then you say, hey, that person robbed someone, you say, hey, oh, come on, stop bringing negative attention to that thief. Yes, I'm talking to people about it and sharing my opinion, and they're sharing their opinions about it, but I don't think I've ever overstepped and gone to the point where I'm like, I considered just doing a bunch of troll things, but I never did. I never like really trolled Ian. So I disagree again with you, sir.
So for anyone who's like shocked of like why you don't want to fight Dad, like, no, you have no reason to fight Dad. There's no reason for you to step in that ring. You have nothing to prove to these people. And even
What do you mean he has no reason to fight Dad? Does Ian like money? I believe they just sold their place and they moved to Canada to live with his wife's family. Like, what do you mean he has no incentive? Like, does Idubbz like money? Like, I tell you what, I'm not a big content creator. If somebody offered me 100 grand to train for a couple months and then go fight somebody, I would probably do it. Because I would do it because who doesn't want to be a content creator or make a year or two's worth of compensation for just a couple months of hard work? Like, come on. Like, chat, come on, really? Like, who wouldn't do that? To literally get paid 100 grand to train for a couple of months, go fight, probably get your ass whooped, and then that's like your year's worth of money right there. For it's like I LOL the greed. You think I'm being greedy? I'm being honest. Like, I would. That's the thing though, is like Idubbz needs the money. I don't think him and his wife have a place right now. So I don't know. Hey, Odin and Salty's in chat. What's up, everyone? Odin says hello, everybody.
though you did say you're down to
Welcome
fight
to
another
the
time,
stream,
doesn't mean you
Odin.
need to fight Dad. So
He does not need to fight me. No one needs to fight anybody ever. I don't think he has to fight me. I just thought it would be a good match. I never demanded him to fight me. So yeah, I agree with you. And he responded and said he doesn't want to. And that's the answer. I don't know why he's saying this as if someone said Ian had to fight.
That's why it says personally, I'd take it. Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's a lot of people who wouldn't take it, but you know, I would love to train for X amount of months and get paid 100 grand. Again, you're getting paid like 100 grand to go fight in an amateur boxing event, and so you're getting your ass whooped for a couple of months, and then you make a year or two. To most people, that's probably 2 years worth of income all in one swoop, and it's like, why would I don't know. Otis Salty says, I just got off from another stream, figured I'd give this one some love too. Hey, thank you so much, Odin. We are, what, 2 hours in? We're just chilling, looking at drama.
He's like defending something no one said.
Yeah, I mean, I've sparred Dad before, and like, I'm gonna be honest, like it was not very competitive. It was like no offense to Dad, he's been killing it in the ring, but like it's not really something like, obviously I try to do fights that are really competitive, that challenge me, and I'm not.
Oh, now he's too good for Dad.
I would assume if I was not a challenge,
why wouldn't you fight him for
box me?
Yes, Dad's gonna say it. If he's not a challenge and there is no point in fighting him, then why in the world for 100 grand would you not agree to fight somebody who is no challenge to you? How does that make any sense? There's no logic there, especially when you know Idubbz needs the money. Why wouldn't you fight him if he's such an easy challenge? It's like, it's easy money. You don't want money? Crazy. Like, no offense. If somebody gave me a bunch of money to fight if someone offered me 100 grand and told me I'm gonna box a little person, no offense, hey, that's 100 grand of easy money. Like, sorry, person, but maybe that's an awful example. But like for something that's easy and someone's paying you to do it, especially 100 grand, I I don't know.
Ian.
Logic.
But then he follows up quickly with this. I think is his excuse and his way out of not boxing me. He's like, "Oh, I like to do challenging fights." And Dad,
Guys, what shape of pasta should I
I
get
like
for
to fight. So
soup?
basically, he
Shells,
says, "I
stars,
like
or
to fight people that I
elbows?
cannot beat." Dr. Mike, Alex Wasabi, why don't you go fight
Maybe
Manny Pacquiao
stars,
then,
yeah.
Ian?
Skylar
Like,
says
what is
stars,
the point
maybe.
of that? It doesn't make sense. It's like a catch-22. It's like, oh, Dad isn't challenging. I want to fight someone who's challenging. And then meanwhile, when he fights those challenging people, he gets completely obliterated. You would think, since we have the same experience, the same exact weight, the same exact height, it would be a perfect match. And if you really did think you could beat me that easily and get $100,000, why would you not do that? It's easy money. And then you could shut me up. The reason I think he's saying this, and that's his excuse to get out,
Because he doesn't want to
because
box.
I don't know if he has anything to gain by boxing me, because the majority of the people out there don't think I and the other Creator Clash boxers did anything wrong. We were sort of the victims. But then if he boxes the victim that he victimized, it doesn't look good on him. I get that. I'm sort of pulling him in, by even asking him, I'm pulling him into a situation that is like awkward for him to even address, because I guess it doesn't make him look good anyway. I was thinking it could help him if everyone's like, okay, they're facing off like gentlemen, they're throwing everything behind them, they're gonna box and end it, and like in a way redeem himself from all this negative attention he's been getting on the internet. That's how I was just thinking this could go for him. But it also could just look really bad if I did beat him, where it's like everyone's mad at him for harming me and the other Creator Clash boxers, and then he loses to me. It just pushes him down. And I think that's what he thinks what might happen. I don't think he thinks I'd be that easy. I think he does think I would be a challenge. That was just his way of brushing this off. That's what I think.
No, I think Dad's right. I think Ian definitely comes off as somebody who doesn't want to take accountability for everything and wants to feel as though he has a handle on things. And if he goes out and he loses to someone who feels accosted by him, he feels as though that's him taking accountability or receiving a punishment for totally ruining his own event. And I think Dad's right about that. I think that's all it is just Ian doesn't want to get shown up publicly.
I'm like psychoanalyzing. I don't really know what's going on. I have to assume, like, he knows when we were sparring, we weren't like trying to kill each other. It was Creator Clash 1. It was very friendly. We're tapping and touching, and that's just like to like see where something's coming from. That's just like to work on your awareness and your guarding. You're not even like boxing. It's like playing touch up and making sure your senses are all working. If he wants to spar one round with me, I would like to then have him say, oh, it wasn't very challenging. I know I'm not great. I admit it all the time. I do think Ian is better than me. I really believe that. I think Ian has more skill than me. I have more heart, I believe. Although he does have a great heart. He went all the way with Dr. Mike. I don't know if I could go as far as he did with Dr. Mike. I have trained and sparred with Alex Wasabi tons of times. Alex is a way better boxer than me. I wouldn't want to box Alex Wasabi. There was Alex suggested he and I box on Misfits last year. Alex was like, hey, let's talk to Mams. Let's get you and I to box. Alex and I are also the exact same height and weight. And I was just like, I don't know, dude, like you'd really mess me up. And like, I didn't want to do that. I'd like to box someone that I think is at my level. People say Matt Watson and AB weren't on my level. They were. We had the same experience, similar body, similar height. If the same amount of training was put in, I think it would have been a fair match. And I don't know if that was the case, because I would really put a lot more training in than they did. But Ian does put that training in. And that's why I feel Ian and I would be a genuinely good match. And I think he does think that. I think he agrees with me, and he's just not going to admit it, because it wouldn't look good if he lost. But I'm trying to.
Veronica Rose in chat says, Alex, oh, you're an Alex Wasabi fan. I know he was a part of both of the Creator Clash 1s and 2s. I don't know anything about him, but I know he was a part of, I think he's a content creator. He's a content creator, but I just don't know what he talks about, really.
Offer him a way out. They're like, dude, it would look good. Even if you lost, it'd probably be close. I really think it would be close. It'd be down to points. And none of us would look bad. We would battle it out, and it would look great, and we could put this behind us. And I think he genuinely could redeem himself. The internet wants it so bad. And if he did, the internet would be happy and be like, okay, dude, that was cool that you did that. And I think people would let go of some of the stuff they're angry about. I really feel this way.
No, I feel you. And I mean, plus, I mean, yeah, like when Dad fought the Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, yeah, that was like a 15-second fight, so we never really got to see what he can do. And the fight against AB got gassed out very quickly. So, I mean, again, you definitely have more endurance than the two of them. You have a better boxing skill. So I actually do imagine that it wouldn't have been that much of a competitive fight.
So if this guy has only seen my 2 Creator Clash matches, sure, he might think, oh, I don't know what he can do. He can't go as far. But you shouldn't assume I couldn't do what Ian has done in the ring because you haven't seen it. Obviously, I'm training with amateur 20-something-year-old boxers, like real boxers, and I'm going the whole distance and longer a lot of times because we have to train more rounds than you.
And anyways, I'll get into the skill part that the guy was just talking about. If literally right now, if you put Dad against Idubbz, Dad would destroy Idubbz. Idubbz has publicly and stated post him destroying his Creator Clash event. He hates boxing. He doesn't even like boxing. He doesn't like doing any physical stuff. He admitted he had never played sports when he was in school. He's not an athletic person. And then he ended up again surprising people by saying, "I hate boxing. I never wanted to do this stupid." He called it a stupid event, and it's like, so wait, you dedicated years of your life to this event for a sport you don't care about? Just a weirdo. But like, Dad is somebody who legitimately likes it, and I bet you he just said he continuously has been training. So like, that's another thing is like, Dad right now, Dad would destroy Idubbz. I guarantee you Idubbz isn't training or anything. He used to be part of my childhood. I don't know what his newer content is nowadays, but it's always nice to. Oh, Alex Wasabi.
Do in the actual fight. I've done 10 3-minute rounds with these amateurs. I have the cardio. I just danced for 24 hours yesterday. I got the cardio, dude. So I'm to this man on.
Scott Twilight said, but why even host an event because he doesn't care about it? That is one of the big questions with Idubbz and his wife Anissa is why start Creator Clash in general when it doesn't sound like either of you actually like boxing. I don't know. Money probably. I mean, it was technically supposed to be a charity event. I think it was all clout, honestly. I think they just wanted to have an event that was big and popular, and they wanted to draw in all these fancy, rich, wealthy influencers and have all these people come to events. And I think that's all it was. It was something that they thought about, and they thought it would give them clout and make them household names or something. I don't know. I don't think it particularly worked all that well for them, other than making them super hated. But gosh, I know way too much about this, but yeah, they literally in the background, this event was how they were like meeting other influencers and stuff. So really weird why that's your avenue to trying to get clout and become. I mean, Idubbz was already kind of famous before this, so it's the whole thing is so weird. Is why ruin Idubbz's career the way he and his wife have done? He was already like a probably millionaire big YouTube creator. He was Idubbz. He was the guy going after Keemstar and of the other people of the sort. It's like, just I don't know. They totally threw away his career basically. So this is basically like Tyson and Paul fight where they most likely did whatever and got their paycheck and headed out. No, Odin, I wouldn't say that. I would say the Tyson Paul fight was not a real fight. I would say most of the fights within Creator Clash are real fights. They're just amateurs though. They're people that have never actually, most of the time they're people who have never boxed other than just in practice and stuff and training. Tyson and Paul are legitimate people who have done more than multiple fights. But in my opinion, what Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul is mainly scam. In my opinion, those two guys are scam artists. So none of those fights that Logan or Jake Paul have been a part of, in my personal opinion, are real fights. That's why they never lose. They essentially pay some washed up celebrity to come fight them, and then I won. You know what I mean? It's like, well, yeah, of course you won. You fought 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Oh, that's my opinion. Creator Clash put on real fights. They are real fights. They're amateurs. They're people they're celebrity influencers.
This interview, I assure you, I can go the distance. And I guess you haven't seen on the Dad channel, or I just hit the punching bag nonstop for 15 minutes straight, which is a pretty hard thing to do. I've put videos out showing I have what it takes to go the distance more than my 22 seconds. And because I do all that stuff, the psychotic cardio, that is why my matches then end in the first round. So, sir, I would like to inform you that yes, I do think I could go the distance with Ian.
Beyond all of that, I'm trying to find my own peace right now, and it's really hard to fucking fight physically, fight online, fight all these different battles simultaneously. I do not want to fucking participate in 50 different fights. It's just not. It's exhausting. It sucks. I'll figure it out with time, but
It's exhausting, it sucks, and yet he's constantly him and his wife are constantly online attacking H3 and everyone else a part of the former creator clashes who are coming after, who are coming to bitch at them for everything they did. In my personal opinion, what I think is happening with Idubbz is Idubbz is lazy. I think that's one of the big things that I believe about him, is I think he's super incredibly lazy. If you guys look at a lot of his older videos, the quality of his videos is really good, really well done. And as if you guys notice, if you look at any of his current content, current videos, the quality of the content stinks. Look at his current stream. Look at this video with him right now. What do you see in his well, first off, the video is super pixelated, but look at his background. What is that background? As somebody who is an influencer creator, and I'm not going to be like, I don't want to, I actually, you know what? I'm going to defend myself. I was going to be humble. I think my background is 10 million times better than what he's got here. One, I normally either have my game collection in my background, which I have a big game collection, and I set that up in particular because I always knew one day I wanted to do streaming and stuff like that. So I put that there because I wanted to make a pretty background. And two, I have my green screen, which kind of ensures that I don't need to show my background sometimes. That's me putting in effort. What is this effort that you see on screen with whatever his current setup is? What is that? Is that a curtain with black tape on a wall? Like, come on. I mean, not that I know he's a million times bigger than my channel in terms of subscribers and views, but like, I feel like I'm in a position where I can critique the quality of what he's making. And whatever he's got in the background there, that is low effort. So, but he was not always like that. Back in the day, Idubbz would put quality content out. And I think what was happening back then, I don't know for sure, I think he had editors. I think back in the day, he was hiring editors or hired somebody to edit all of his stuff. And I think all that's happened over time is he doesn't have editors anymore. Him or Anissa are the ones putting together all of their content. And it's like, dude, what I'm looking at on screen stinks, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just me critiquing him. It went from putting passion to being lazy to get something out. Skylar Twilight, and that's another thing, is that they were H3 brought on his former boxing trainer Michael Briggs, and Michael Briggs was even saying there were multiple times during training when he wouldn't even be able to get a hold of Idubbz for like long periods of time. I think he said almost like a 6-month period. He didn't talk to Idubbz when Idubbz is supposed to be training year round for his own boxing event. And it's like, I mean, clearly Idubbz doesn't have a passion for boxing or his event he was running, or shoot, clearly streaming is a problem. I think Idubbz and Anissa are just lazy. Which is crazy. That's all I'll say. I was getting ready to say, for somebody like me, who I feel like you guys can tell I have a passion and enjoy for what I'm doing. Like, I don't even get anything like all that big monetarily out of what I'm doing, and I feel like I put in way more effort than what they do. It's like, I don't know. Let's continue on with that.
One fight at a time, I think, is all I need.
That response is a lot more understandable and respectable. Yes, a lot of people are coming at him. I'm sure it's really crappy and really stressful. I'm part of it, and I don't necessarily
largely
mean to do that.
Idubbz's
I'm trying to
fault.
stand up for myself and voice my opinion and address things that have happened and how they've made me feel.
Odin Salty says, bruh, even the short videos I make on my other channel, I make the videos myself and try to make it look alright. and I try to have fun making whatever. Yeah, that's all. That's all you can really ask of yourself
but in
and
doing
of
so,
your
I am
content
then,
in general.
yes, like they said, bringing more attention to the crappy stuff that he's done. And now he has to deal with that, and he's doing all that stuff. So yeah, that makes way more sense. He doesn't want to box someone who's involved in all that drama and pull him deeper into it. If he's trying to put out these fires and like fade away, seems like he's trying to distance himself from all this stuff and then just be over with it. Doesn't want to go and box me. But I have to remind him it's all happening because of his own doing. He caused this fire. He
Yes,
put
that's
out
what I
this
said.
giant video on his friend. It was a complete 180 turn, and now he's like, "Nope, stop talking to me about this. Stop talking about this." He started the fire, and
I've had so much effort put into a video just to have 70 views, and I still feel proud of it. Dude, I have put in, like... I've had videos that I've spent 15 to 20 hours on that have probably only gotten 100 views, so I get what it's like. Dude, there's early videos, that one... Some of that one Cowboy Bebop, I did an entire video summarizing the entire series Cowboy Bebop, which is like a really well done video. I felt like I did. That video never went on to do anything, and it's like I'm still proud of it. I still love that video, but it's like I get that. Like that video may have 100 views on it or something, and I may probably spent 20 to 30 hours or something working on that video. And that's not, the recognition is an important aspect, but I've always felt like, I don't know, eventually, if you put out quality stuff, eventually people will notice.
now is mad that it's still burning. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a fan of him, and I just don't want to give him my attention.
and I gotta say, watching the old video he did where he was just yelling at Rice Milk, it's super funny how the tables have turned. He is doing the exact thing that Rice Milk did to him. He's avoiding me, just like Rice Milk avoided him. And now Ian actually knows how to box, and he thinks he's a better boxer than me. Everything he said in that old video is the complete opposite now in 2025.
In a fight versus me and Rice Gum, because like I'm sad. I'm very sad because I want the event to happen. I've spent a lot of time doing it, and Rice Gum is just fucking like not being cooperative at all, and it sucks ass. If this Rice Gum thing doesn't work out, I'll make fun of him some more.
Yeah, this guy who has no problem instigating and dragging things on forever will not respond to me, talk to me when I talk to him like a normal person. And I don't just make fun of him. So maybe that's my problem.
Don't want to give him my attention in general. Like, I think he's been an asshole. So fuck him.
And then
That's why it says there's some random projects I've made, though I've never posted half of them, but I still feel proud of how much effort I put in. Yeah, no. That's the important part. The whole thing I've always felt is if you just put enough content out there, hopefully eventually people notice it, and whatever you make next gets the attention from that.
I guess that's where Ian is now trying to like end this whole interaction with he and myself, even though he's not even interacting with me. It's just me yelling at clouds alone here, but I know he's seeing these videos. I'd like to ask him, when was I an a-hole? When? Tell me exactly in a video what line I said, what complaint I said, because it's all I'm pretty sure all I've said is how I feel, how he made me feel, how inconsiderate he and Anissa were, how crappy it was to not think of other people, how uncommunicative they were. Being an a-hole would mean I've said unnecessary things, gone beyond the point of respect, and gone beyond and said something unfair and insulting to you. Which maybe because I went on a podcast with someone you're not friends with anymore, I'm now an a-hole. You made an hour-long video on someone that you were friends with, and then just because now you don't like them, if I talked to them, I'm an a-hole. Am I like indebted to you? I can never talk to anyone you don't like, and if I do, I'm an a-hole. I never ever acted like an a-hole, and you know that. I think that's just him saying that to be like, oh, I don't like him, he's an a-hole. And stop talking to me about this, please, because I don't have anything else I can say. This is my only way out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Dad's right. I mean, yeah, Idubbz is just fishing for straws. He's just, what can I say about this guy? And part of the problem is that, like, largely on probably Idubbz's audience, that's probably a successful thing to do, because unfortunately nowadays, nobody looks into anything. Just because somebody's a fan of Idubbz, his fans will probably say, oh, Idubbz told me this guy's an a-hole, therefore he's an a-hole. And it's like, no, look into conversations and dialogue you, Dad, and him have had. Don't just because someone tells you something doesn't mean you just flat out believe it. Go look at things they've said or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I was gonna bring up something political, and I'm like, nope, not bringing that up. I was gonna no, I'm not doing
to
it.
insult him
Not
and be
not
like,
right
he's
now.
mean to
It's
me.
too late.
I wasn't though, and you know I wasn't. It looks to me like when he says I'm an a-hole, he's lacking
It's gonna be high school
any
drama.
real
Oh,
complaint. He's lacking any.
that is a great point. That is a big point. A lot of people have said is Idubbz and Anissa come off as two young people who still act as though they're in high school. I've heard that. I've heard that said a bunch of times, and I agree. They're largely their brains never fully matured.
Genuine critique of the way I've acted, and he just says this vague blanket like, "Oh, he's an a-hole, f him." He can't actually say what I've done that makes me an a-hole, and that's why he didn't. I feel.
Odin Salty says, "How did Filthy Frank turn out to be the least controversial guy out of the whole group? He used to be part of. He only doesn't seem to cause any bullcrap for the most part." Well, not just Filthy Frank. I think for the most part, Max Mofo and his brother have largely stayed out of any drama or anything. Um, I I wouldn't necessarily say H3 is like the most controversial person ever. I mean, he definitely has his moments. But yeah, definitely if you want to say who's been talked about more, I would, or at least, yeah, Filthy Frank and Max Mofo and his brother have like largely, they have like their, I think Max Mofo and his brother have their own podcasts and stuff. And then Filthy Frank, he went on to do the Joji stuff. Who knows what the heck he's doing now? I mean, I've always said the one thing I hate, the only thing I hated is I never mind Filthy Frank going on to do the Joji, the music stuff, and to leave everything else behind. I never had a problem with that. My problem with Joji or Frank or what's his name, George, whatever his name is. My problem with him was always that he hates his previous career in YouTube. He hates all of his videos, hates the character Pink Guy and all that stuff, and that has always been a source of like kind of disappointment from my end, is simply because like I loved the channel. I loved all the characters and the humor and everything. I get it. It's immature, could be controversial at times, but to me it was always just a character and it's just someone trying to be funny. I don't know. I kind of knowing Frank doesn't want anything to do with that previous stuff. It's a little disappointing, but whatever. You know, I can get past that. Um, but yeah, H3's he's kind of had his moments here and there, and then, in my opinion, the one that's the most disappointing out of that old group is Idubbz. Idubbz is totally just like completely gone on the deep end. He's the only one out of the group that I like vehemently dislike now. But I will admit, he kind of did the same thing as Joji did. Like, he hates his previous content, hates his previous fans, wants absolutely nothing to do with any of that previous stuff. But at least Joji kind of leaves it there and isn't constantly badgering and talking about that stuff. Idubbz is constantly talking about his previous things and previous controversies. And it's just like, dude, like, I think the biggest problem is that I'm learning that Idubbz is a very uninteresting person, which is crazy. I don't know where that happened because his old content was very good and very interesting. I know it's a I don't like attacking people's significant others or blaming them for things, but like this is probably, in my opinion, probably the biggest example of like a relationship like really being bad for like a content creator. I've never personally seen this before, but like I truly feel like since and I used to dislike that whole narrative of people calling Anissa a succubus and she was dragging him down and she was going to ruin his career, and I was always like, no, that you're being ridiculous. She's not that bad. No, I actually do think you know, I don't mean to throw any hate on her, but like she has been like a total detriment to like Idubbz's career. Now the big question is she a total detriment or was Idubbz always like that? That's the interesting thing about the Idubbz Ian thing is like, again, was he always like that or did she change him or make him change up? I have no idea. Like, some people just fall off like that sometimes. Yeah. Um, it's just crazy though, because like when you look back at the old Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, Idubbz content, um, it's really weird. Like when I go back and look at the videos that Idubbz is a part of, he does kind of stand out now. Like when I look at those videos, because I guess I never paid attention before, but he does seem like subtly uncomfortable, I guess, in ways. So like, I don't know for sure, but like, almost part of me almost wonders, was he just doing stuff for attention? Like, was he only friends with them because they were big YouTubers and he just was like making a name for himself? And then I don't know. No, I wouldn't say that. It's hard to say because his takedown videos later on with like Rice Gum and Keemstar and stuff, they were good to great videos. So it's like maybe he just lost maybe it was the relationship and loss of passion. I don't know.
When all is said and done, Ian didn't like how much negative attention he got from the problems he caused, and now he's just trying to make it go away. And it's not going away, and it's driving him nuts. Anyway, I will be boxing. I guess it won't be Ian, but I truly feel he will not look good if he addresses me because he knows I did nothing wrong. So he's in a roundabout way responding to me without responding to me. Because if he did put a video out and talked about me, he wouldn't look good because he has no reason to actually be mean to me. And it's now showing, and it's obvious. He picks and chooses the things he responds to, all these online critiques, all these other people.
Odin Salty says, that's why I don't watch old Vanoss videos, because I'll see one old member that is a weirdo in the present that texted minors or whatever. I've never even heard of Vanoss. Is that a content creator group? I mean, to be fair, you said some people just fall off. There's other people, content creators, that I've stopped paying attention to because of that. I used to watch a lot of Boogie2988. I did a whole video on him because of how crappy he is now. But I used to love his video and content, and then Boogie got crazy. Which, I mean, to be fair, I mean, luckily he's kind of joined the lolcow universe with Keemstar, and they seem to be fairly uncontroversial now with their podcast stuff. So, I mean, good on him. But like, yeah, Boogie totally fell off. I don't know what he was. He was a nutcase, head case, in my opinion. Trying to think of anybody else content creator wise that I used to F with. I think for the most part, I still watch all the same people I've always watched. I watch AVGN, Red Letter Media, Angry Joe, H3. I'm stuck in my ways. I still watch a lot of the same people. Probably the only people I don't watch anymore are Idubbz and Boogie. Those are probably the only two people I've like would consider have fallen off.
People are complaining about him. He only responds to specific moments and not the valid complaints about him and the things he's done wrong. One of those things being everything I've said about how he handled Creator Clash 3. That's it. There's nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
All right, and that is that. Just to be nice to Dad, he said in the description is his donation. I guess you guys can just go to the video. There's a link there, but go to donate to him.